How's it going, everybody? Time for another episode of Crappy Movies Saturday, where I review a very shitty movie every Saturday. As you can see, don't have a shirt on. Don't mind me. So, as I do every Saturday, I scroll through Netflix and try and find the shittiest movie I can possibly find. And this week, I found a movie that the premise is fucking awesome, but they just made it so fucking bad. Now, a lot of the time, I don't do big budget movies because a lot of them aren't really bad, and this is a B movie in all regards. It is a movie called Monster Brawl, and on Netflix, it's the first movie that I've seen that had a 1-star rating. Actually, one of the only ones. I think I've seen like 2 or 3. And this is the first one I actually watched that's a 1-star, and it didn't disappoint. I mean, I have seen worse that were rated higher, but regardless, this shit was bad. Now, a little news before I get this started. I just graduated yesterday from high school, and I'm really excited about that. And I decided to celebrate with you guys by finding a shitty movie, as always. But, just give me congratulations, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care. But, so this movie, Monster Brawl, basically the premise is fucking awesome. It's a movie about, it's kind of like a pay-per-view, like, UFC fighting tournament thing, except with monsters, like movie monsters, like mummies and zombies and vampires, Frankenstein, werewolf, shit like that. And so they get all these monsters together, and it's basically like a pay-per-view event. They have the commentators, and basically the whole movie is just like one big pay-per-view event kind of thing. If you've ever seen one, like for UFC or boxing or whatever, like a tournament, and they're always like, oh, and we have this, and it shows the background, and it shows like how they got to be there, and it shows how, like, the interview with them before the match and everything. It has all that, except with monsters, and they went about it the wrong way. First of all, this is a B movie, so they had to take it a step further. They were like, oh, they're all going to fight to the death. Fine with that. It's basically Mortal Kombat, I guess. But then they did something weird when they were fighting, like, randomly throughout the fight. They'd have, like, just this Mortal Kombat ass, like, announcer guy go... No, he didn't say fatality. He said all this weird shit like, satisfactory. And I was just like, what? Wait a minute. Why would you say that? And then he'd always announce the kills, and I'm just like, really? Do we have to do this? Because it would be so much better. A second thing that was wrong about this was the costumes were fucking terrible. Like, they were just pathetic. It's like they threw something together from a kindergarten play, except a little more elaborate. They actually gave credit to somebody in the beginning of the film, like, during the beginning credits, which they probably shouldn't have, because whoever did do the costumes probably doesn't want their name to be said to anyone. But it was actually like a company or something, and the company sucks. The blood was pretty good. The acting was stupid. The voice acting was stupid. The fight choreography was actually pretty good. I had no problems with that. I love fighting movies. This really didn't disappoint, besides from the fact that it was really slow and pathetic. I guess I can't blame it. But usually I love UFC and boxing, and it's all fast-paced, and they're just walking around, punch. And the deaths were kind of stupid. And then the one thing that made me pissed the most, actually there was two things. One of them, I'll tell you, the one that pissed me off really bad. They had a witch, and some of the monsters had nicknames. Do you know what they named the witch's nickname was? I will give you 5 seconds to guess. It's the most stupidest thing you could ever think of. Witch bitch. I am dead fucking serious. They named their witch Witch Bitch. And then the announcers kept using stupid puns. Like when the witch died, they said, "Ding dong, the witch is dead." I'm like, fucking shut up. You're embarrassing yourself. Like I do weekly. And then the one thing that pissed me off the most out of the whole movie, they had a Cyclops. That's all fine. He fought the witch and killed her. But she, of course, went for his eye to kill him, but didn't work. But the thing that pissed me off so much was he had a special ability where he shot lasers from his eye. Do you know how stupid that is? When they were doing the announcements, like, they were, like, listing all the stuff, like, his, like, fighting training and some personality shit, it said, and he can shoot lasers from his eyes. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. Please don't show me this. But they showed it. And it was as pathetic as I thought it would be. It was so horrible, in fact, that I nearly killed myself. Yeah. It's sad, but true. I slit my wrists with a spoon. Because that's all I had. I just was cutting away at my wrist with a spoon. And now I'm not making jokes about suicide because I'm not making fun of it, but seriously, that shit was so stupid. I've never seen fucking anything that bad in my experiences. Even the Langoliers, in all of its shit, the Stand in all of its shit, would never, ever do something that ridiculously fucking retarded. Never. I don't care how bad the movie is. It can be the worst B movie ever. At least they have the decency to not make a Cyclops shoot lasers from his eyes. I can't stress this enough. It's that bad. Just this movie had such a good premise, and everything went wrong. I'm not saying that a big budget company could probably do better. They could, because they, first of all, have better costumes, better actors, and probably be smart enough not to make a fucking Cyclops shoot lasers. But it's common sense how to make a good movie like this. I just am shocked. I really am. That this shit exists. I had actually seen it for a long time on Netflix and been afraid to watch it. I've always been like, hey, I should really watch this sometime. It probably would be really funny. I don't regret watching it. Unlike The Stand. But it's just so fucking ridiculous. Oh, by the way, I've never talked about The Stand. I will probably do that movie next. But just a little heads up, The Stand is my least favorite movie, and it took me 3 months to finish the movie. 4 hours. Took me 3 months. That's how bad it is. That I couldn't finish it in one sitting. It took me 60 sittings to finish that movie. That's how bad. It's probably my least favorite of all movies. But that wraps it up for this episode of Crappy Movie Saturday, and I hopefully will see you again next Saturday, where I will probably be more of a man. Who knows? But I bid you adieu, and remember, don't watch these movies. Let me watch them. If you have any suggestions of shitty movies you want me to watch, leave them in the box below. That way, I think, if I remember correctly, whatever way I'm facing. And leave suggestions for future movies that you'd like me to watch, and I will get to them. I really will. I have so much time on my hands and $200 in my pocket for graduation, so I can go buy any movie. But yes, just leave suggestions and tell me if you like this review or not, and remember, don't watch this unless you like shitty movies. Goodbye.